1,400 pounds more than the Series 6R. It first flew on the 8th of January, 1965 and received US certification on the 23rd of May of that same year. A total of 20 were built, starting service with ALIA on the 31st of July, 1965. It also flew with Aeroloid, CTA, Hispania and SAT, among others. Caravelle 11R. The 11R had a fuselage length of 31.72 m, 104 feet 1 in, 70 centimeters or 28 in more than other variants, and incorporated a 3.32 m, 1.84 m, 10.9 feet 6.0 feet, cargo door in the port side. This enabled it to carry a mixed load of passengers and cargo. First flight of the Series 11R was on the 21st of April, 1967. Only 6 were built, delivered to Air Afrique, Air Congo, and Transeuropa of Spain. Caravelle 12, Super Caravelle. This was the last version of the Caravelle to appear, first flying on the 12th of March, 1971. The Series 12 was a 10B with a noticeably longer fuselage, stretched by 3.2 m, 10 feet 6 in, and a newer uprated version of the JT8D engines with 6,577 kgf, 64,500 N, 14,500 lbf, of unitary thrust. This allowed for up to 140 passengers over a reduced range. The Caravelle 12 was aimed primarily at the charter market, produced to 12 examples starting in 1972. By this point Concorde was in production. This design was originally known in France as Aviation Super Caravelle. The Caravelle 12 was often also referred to by this name. The launch customer for the Series 12 was Sterling Airways with 7 delivered, while the remaining 5 went to Air Inter. Series 12S flew in Europe until October 1996, and in Africa until more recently. The unit cost was US $5.5 m. 1972. Operators, edit. The Caravelle served with airlines on every continent except Australia. In 1957, Trans-Australia Airlines, TAA, sought to order 2 Caravelles, to service its longest routes, Perth-Sydney and Perth-Melbourne, from 1960. However, the Australian government blocked the order, saying that any further diversity in full-size airliners used on domestic routes would have an adverse impact on aircraft servicing within Australia. Civil operators, edit. Algeria. 1 Air Algeria. Argentina. 1 Aerolíneas Argentinas, 1962-1973. Austria. 1 Austrian Airlines. Belgium. 1 Belgian International Air Services. 2 Sabena. 3 Sobolair. Brazil. 1 Cruzeiro do Sul. 2 Painair do Brasil. 3 Varig. Burundi. 1 Air Burundi. Cambodia. 1 Air Cambodge. Central African Republic. 1 Air Centrafrique. Chile. 1 LAN Chile. Côte d'Ivoire. 1 Air Afrique. Colombia. 1 Air Atoll Colombia. 2 Air Cesar Colombia. Congo. 1 Air Congo. 2 Walter, DR Congo. Denmark. 1 Alisar Dia. 2 Aviation. 3 Sterling Airways. Ecuador. 1 CETA. 2 San Ecuador. Egypt. 1 Egyptair, leased from Sterling. Finland. 1 Finnair. France. 1 Airita. 2 Air Charter International. 3 Air France. 4 Air Inter. 5 Air Martinique. 6 Air Provence, 7 Qatar, 8 Corsair, 9 Uralair, 10 Europe Aero Service, 11 Minerve, 12 TransUnion, 13 Union des Transports Aériens, Gabon, 1 Air Gabon, 2 Gabon Express, Germany, 1 Aero Lloyd, 1980, 2 LTU, 3 Lufthansa, leased, 4 Painair, leased, 5 Special Air Transport, SAT, India, 1 Indian Airlines, 2 Push Parker, Italy, 1 Aerolini Italia, 2 Alitalia, 3 Altair, 4 Societe Aérea Mediterranea, Jordan, 1 Alia, Laos, 1 Royal Air Lao, Lebanon, 1 Air Liban, 2 Middle East Airlines, Libya, 1 Kingdom of Libya Airlines, Luxembourg, 1 Luc Air, Mali, 1 Air Mali, Morocco, 1 Royal Air Maroc, Martinique, 1 Air Martinique, New Caledonia, 1 Air Calédonie International, Netherlands, 1 Transavia, Philippines, 1 Filipinas Orient Airways, 2 Sterling Philippines Airways, 3 Transasia Airways, Portugal, 1 TAP Air Portugal, Spain, 1 Aviaco, 2 Iberia Airlines, 3 Thai, 4 Transeuropa, Scandinavia, 1 SAS, Scandinavian Airlines System operated 1959 to 1974. The carrier took delivery of the first aircraft of the type in 1959. South Vietnam, 1 Air Vietnam, Sweden, 1 Transed operated 1985 to 1990. Switzerland, 1 Air City, 2 Balair, 3 CTA, 4 SATA, 5 Swissair, Syria, 1 Syrian Arab Airlines, Taiwan, 1 China Airlines, 2 Far Eastern Air Transport, Thailand, 1 Thai Airways International, Tunisia, 1 Tunisair, Turkey, 1 Istanbul Airlines, United States, 1 Midwest Air Charter / Airborne Express, 2 United Airlines, Venezuela, 1 Avenza, 2 Viasa, leased, Yugoslavia, 1 Air Yugoslavia, 2 Inex Adria Avia Promit, 3 JAT Yugoslav Airlines, Zaya, 1 Afro Cargo, 2 Air Zaya. Military and government operators, edit. Algeria, 1 Algerian Air Force, Argentina, 1 Argentine Air Force, 1973-1975. Central African Republic, 1 Central African Empire / Republic Government, 1970-1979. Chad, 1 Chad Government, France, 1 French Air Force, Gabon, 1 Gabon Government, 1976-1978. Mauritania, 1 Mauritanian Government, Mexico, 1 Mexican Air Force, Rwanda, 1 Rwanda Government, Senegal, 1 Senegal Government, Sweden, 1 Swedish Air Force designated TP-85-2X SAS aircraft were used as electronic intelligence aircraft 1974 to 1998. Yugoslavia, 1 Yugoslav Air Force. Incidents and accidents, edit. For 45 years of commercial operation, 67 Caravelles have been withdrawn from service as a result of destruction or for irreparable damage. None of these accidents and incidents are attributed to a design defect, only a few technical failures, human errors, or sabotage. The total loss of life in accidents in the Caravelle is more than 1,300. The accident rate per million flights is estimated at more than 5.5, compared with less than 1 for the most recent airliners. The 19th of January, 1960 Scandinavian Airlines System Flight 871, a Caravelle, crashed at Isenboga Airport, Turkey due to excessive descent for reasons unknown. 7 crew members and 35 passengers lost their lives. The 19th of May, 1960, a Caravelle of Air Algérie, Efogny, collided with a Stamp single-engine biplane on approach to Paris-Orly and managed to land. The small aircraft was destroyed and its pilot was killed, as well as 1 passenger of the Caravelle. 18 other persons on board were injured. The 12th of September, 1961 Air France Flight 2005, a Caravelle 3, crashed near Rabat, Morocco after the crew misread instruments, killing all 77 on board. The 27th of September, 1961 Varig Flight 592J, a Caravelle 3, crashed when landing at Brasilia International Airport in Brazil, caught fire and was totally destroyed. Despite this, there were no casualties. Among the passengers were the governor of the Rio Grande do Sul state, Leonel Brizola, and 3 ministers of state of the newly sworn President João Goulart. This was the first air accident in the new Brazilian capital, founded only 16 months before. The 4th of September, 1963 Swiss Air Flight 306 crashed shortly after takeoff from Zurich following an in-flight fire, killing all 80 people on board. The 18th of April, 1964 Middle East Airlines Flight 444, registration ODAEM, crashed at night into the Persian Gulf, 10 miles out from Dhahran Airport, Saudi Arabia, killing all 49 on board. The cause was never determined. The 15th of February, 1966 an Indian Airlines Caravelle 6N registered as VTDPP crashed short of the runway at Palam Airport in poor visibility, killing 2 of 80 on board. The 4th of September, 1966 an Indian Airlines Caravelle 6N registered as VTDSB struck a hill at 800 feet during a training flight, killing the 4 crew. The 30th of June, 1967 Thai Airways International Flight 601, a Caravelle 3, crashed into the sea while landing at Hong Kong's Kai Tak Airport during a tropical heavy rainstorm. 24 people were killed. The 4th of November, 1967 Iberia Airlines Flight 062, a Caravelle 10R, struck Blackdown Hill, Sussex, United Kingdom, killing all 37 passengers and crew. The 11th of September, 1968 Air France Flight 1611, a Caravelle 3 en route from the island of Corsica to Nice, France, crashed into the Mediterranean Sea off Nice following an in-flight fire, killing all 95 on board. In 2011 a report surfaced that a missile may have shot down the aircraft. The 28th of December, 1968 two Middle East Airlines Caravelle 6NS, registrations ODAE and ODAEF, along with 12 other aircraft, were destroyed at Beirut International Airport by Israeli commandos in retaliation for a terrorist attack on a Boeing aircraft in Athens. The 26th of July, 1969 an Air Algérie Caravelle 6N, registration 7TVAK, crashed at near Hassi Messaoud Airport, Algeria, killing 33 passengers and crew out of 37. The aircraft crashed onto the runway while attempting an emergency landing due to an in-flight fire. The 8th of October, 1969, a Cruzeiro do Sul Caravelle 6R en route from Belém Valdecais to Manaus Ponta Pelada in Brazil was hijacked by 4 people who demanded to be flown to Cuba. The hijacking lasted less than a day and there were no casualties. The 1st of April, 1970. Main article, 1970 Berikid crash. A Royal Air Maroc Caravelle 3 registered as CNCCV crashed on approach to Casablanca following a loss of control, killing 61 of 72 on board. The 20th of November, 1971, China Airlines Flight 825, a Caravelle 3, registration B1852, crashed near Penghu, Taiwan due to a possible bomb explosion, killing all 25 passengers and crew on board. The 7th of January, 1972, Iberia Airlines Flight 602 crashed into a mountain while on approach to Ibiza Airport, Spain. All 104 passengers and crew were killed. The 14th of March, 1972, Sterling Airways Flight 296 crashed 20 mi west of Calba, United Arab Emirates due to pilot error, killing all 112 passengers and crew in the worst ever accident involving the Caravelle. The accident is also the deadliest in the United Arab Emirates. The 1st of June, 1973, Cruzeiro do Sul Flight 109, a Caravelle 6N, registration PPPDX, operating from Belém Valdecans to São Luís crashed on approach to São Luís. The left engine lost power and the aircraft attained an extreme nose-up attitude. It stalled and crashed 760 m to the right of the runway. All 23 passengers and crew died. The 13th of August, 1973, Aviation Flight 118 crashed near Corunna, Spain, killing all 85 passengers and crew, while attempting to land at Alvidro Airport, now a Corunna Airport, in heavy fog. The 11th of September, 1973, JAT Airways Flight 769, a Caravelle 6N, struck Babinzug Peak while on approach to Titigrad Airport, killing all 41 passengers and crew on board. The accident remains the worst in Montenegro. The 22nd of December, 1973, a Sobel Caravelle 6N operating for Royal Air Maroc, Caravelle 6N, OSRD, struck Mount Melaline while on approach to Tangier Airport, killing all 106 passengers and crew on board. The 15th of March, 1974, a Sterling Airways Caravelle 10B3 experienced a landing gear failure as it was taxiing for takeoff at Tehran's Mirabad International Airport, leading to 15 passengers being killed and 37 passengers and crew injured. The 12th of October, 1976, Indian Airlines Flight 171, a Caravelle 6N, crashed at Santa Cruz Airport following a loss of control caused by an uncontained engine failure and in-flight fire, killing all 95 on board. The 18th of December, 1977, Saudia Transport Aerian Flight 730 crashed into the sea while on final approach to Madeira Airport due to pilot error, killing 36 of 52 on board. The wreckage was found in 2011. The 30th of September, 1978, a Finnair Caravelle was hijacked by an unemployed home building contractor carrying a gun. With 44 passengers and 5 crew on board, the aircraft flew to Amsterdam, Netherlands. After that it flew to Helsinki, where the hijacker released his hostages and received his demanded money. It then flew to Oulu, where he was arrested at his house the following day. The 19th of June, 1980, an airborne express Caravelle 6R registered as N905MW crashed at Atlanta Hartsfield Airport on approach to runway 26. The probable cause was listed as a poorly planned approach, vortex turbulence, and failure to follow approved procedures, directives, etc. The 21st of December, 1980, a Transports Areas del Cesar, Eracisa, Caravelle VIR, registration HK 1810, crashed near Riohacha, Colombia due to an explosion and in-flight fire, killing all 70 on board. The cause of the explosion was unknown. 1980 Riohacha Transports Areas del Cesar Caravelle crash. The 29th of April, 1983, San Ecuador Flight 832, a Caravelle 6R, Reg. HCBAJ, SN 125, crashed near the southern end of the runway of the Simon Bolivar International Airport in Guayaquil, Ecuador after attempting to execute an emergency landing. The plane had suffered an engine failure shortly after taking off from Guayaquil on a flight to Quito, and the crew was returning to the airport. However, the second engine failed while overflying the city and the plane stalled just as it approached the airport. Cap. German crews crash-landed the plane in a muddy puddle, produced by recent El Niño rains near the end of the runway, with the fuselage breaking in 3 parts but without causing a fire. The accident killed 8 of the 100 people on board and injured several others, but the fact that the puddle acted as a form of cushion to the plane helped avoid more fatalities. The pilot had previously reported engine issues and had tested the plane the previous day, after which it was subjected to maintenance and was later reported as fit to fly shortly before the ill-fated flight. The 2nd of July, 1983, an Altair Caravelle 3 registered as FBHRS experienced an uncontained engine failure while accelerating for takeoff at Milan Malpensa Airport, Italy. Takeoff was quickly aborted and all 89 occupants survived, but the aircraft was damaged beyond repair. The derelict aircraft remained at Milan Malpensa Airport for years afterward. The 18th of January, 1986, an Aviation Caravelle temporarily leased from Ecuador's Cita crashed in the jungle after missing its first approach, killing all 93 occupants. The flight had originated in Guatemala City and was to land at Mundo Maya International Airport in the northern department of Petén. Aircraft on display, edit. Europe. 1 FBHIA Caravelle 3, MSN1, originally delivered to Air France as Alsace. Preserved at the Piet Smuts Autobedrijf in Barlo, Netherlands. 2 FBHI Caravelle 3, MSN2, second prototype briefly appeared in Air France color scheme but never flew with the airline. Forward fuselage preserved at the Musée de l'Aéroport de l'Espace in Paris. 3 LNKLH Caravelle 3, MSN3, originally delivered to SAS as Finn Viking. Preserved at the Norwegian Museum of Science and Technology, Oslo, Norway. 4 SCDAA Caravelle 3, MSN4, originally delivered to SAS as Eskil Viking. The nose section is in poor condition at the Finnish Aviation Museum, Helsinki. 5 PHTRO Caravelle 3, MSN33, originally delivered to Transavia Holland. Nose section preserved at the Aviodome, Lelystad, Netherlands. 6 OIKRD Caravelle 3, MSN47, originally delivered to SAS as Ulf Viking. Entire aircraft on display at the Danish Museum of Science and Technology, Helsinki, Denmark. 7 FBHRT Caravelle 3, MSN55, originally delivered to Air France as Picardy. Preserved as instructional airframe at Merville-Collins Airfield, France. 8 CNCCX Caravelle 3, MSN57, originally delivered to Royal Air Maroc. In use as a training aircraft at the Mohammedah School of Hospitality and Tourism, Mohammedah, Morocco. 9 FBHRY Caravelle 3, MSN61, originally delivered to Air France as Terrain. On display at the Musée de l'Épopée de l'Aéronautique in Albert, France. 10. OSIA Caravelle 6N, MSN 64, originally delivered to Sabna. Entire aircraft preserved at the Royal Museum of the Armed Forces and Military History, Brussels, Belgium. 11 SEDAF Caravelle 3, MSN 112, originally delivered to SAS as Sven Viking. On display at Turku Airport, Finland. Painted in Finnair 1963 livery with registration only. 12 FZACE Caravelle 3, MSN 116, originally delivered to Finnair as OLED and flown by the French Air Force as 116/CE. On display at Musée Européen de l'Aviation de Chasse, Montélimar, France. 13 UAHB Caravelle 6N, MSN 135, originally delivered to JAT Yugoslav Airlines as Bled. On display at the Museum of Yugoslav Aviation, near the Nikola Tesla International Airport. 14. SEDAG Caravelle 3, MSN 172, originally delivered to SAS as DAG Viking. Currently on display at the Swedish Air Force Museum, Linköping. The aircraft served with the Swedish Air Force, tail number 851, for signal reconnaissance. 15 FGen Caravelle 10R Super B, MSN 185, originally delivered to Finnair as OLSC Turku. Forward fuselage section preserved Corlier, France, as Aero Club du Haut Bugey. 16 SEDAG Caravelle 3, MSN 210, originally delivered to SAS as Ulrik Viking. Fully restored in taxiable condition and preserved by Le Caravelle Club at Stockholm Arlanda Airport, Sweden. 17 FBYCY Caravelle 12, MSN 233, originally delivered to JAT Yugoslav Airlines as UAHG and flown by Aerita and Corsair. Preserved at Moyenpel, France and was renovated into a hotel. 18 FBOHA Caravelle 3, MSN 242, originally delivered to Air France as Guyane. On display at Avignon-Provence Airport, France. 19 FGHMU Caravelle 12, MSN 249, originally delivered to Sterling Airways as Oyster before being sold to Air Toulouse International. Also flew for Air City as HBIKD and the government of the Central African Republic as TLABB and European Air Service as FGCJT. Preserved and on display at the Ailes Ancients de Toulouse Museum at Toulouse-Blaganc, France. 20 TCR Bar Caravelle 10B, MSN 253, originally delivered to Salda Transport Aerian as HBICN. Sold to Istanbul Airlines, named Mine. Restored and on display at the Istanbul Aviation Museum, Turkey. 21 FGCVL Caravelle 12, MSN 273, originally delivered to Sterling Airways as OISAE and later flown by Air Inter and Air Provence. Preserved and on display at the Musée de l'Aérite de l'Espace, Paris. 22 FGCVK Caravelle 12, MSN 276, originally delivered to Sterling Airways as OISAC and flown by Air Inter. In use as instructional airframe in Air Inter colors at Merville-Collins Airfield, France. 23 FBTOE Caravelle 12, MSN 280, originally delivered to Air Inter. Preserved and on display at the Aeroscopia Museum at Toulouse-Blagnac Airport, France. North America. 1N1001U Caravelle 6R, MSN 86, originally delivered to United Airlines. Preserved at the Pima Air and Space Museum in Tucson, Arizona, in Aero Service markings. 2HK 2836 Caravelle 10R, MSN 211, originally delivered to Finnair as Kuopio. Also flew for Air Charter and EAS, Europe Aero Service as FGDFZ before being sold to SEC Colombia as HK 3836 and LAS, Líneas Aéreas Suramericanas as HK 3836X, going on to serve with the Fuerza Aérea Mexicana, serial 10506. On display inside Parque Aviacuático Los Manantiales, Jilotepec 9 Tlahuaca Highway at kilometer 39. 3N901MW Caravelle 6R, MSN 62, originally delivered to Servicos Aéreas Cruzeiro do Sul. Later flew for Airborne Express. Currently preserved on the apron of John Glenn International Airport